Hi, this is MTV214. Thanks for stopping by the channel. I read The Color Out of Space from Cthulhu Mythos Tales by H.P. Lovecraft recently, and I was talking to a friend from work about H.P. Lovecraft reading the book before Halloween, and he's like, "Oh, he has the movie version of it, and this is starring Nicolas Cage from 2020." So he let me borrow it. I watched it last night with family, and it definitely is reminiscent of the story, but it's modernized. So Nicolas Cage is the main star of this movie. He's got a wife, two children, wife, two kids, and I don't see the other son. But so like a young son, his daughter who's into like the Necronomicon or the occult, his wife, and the other son. So definitely spooky story. There's like a hippie guy that's a squatter in the area. There's him and his wife. There's like the sheriff and one of his sons, the older son, and there's their dog and the younger son. So it's definitely spooky. That's something relating to like the alien. So it's basically a modernized version of the story that it takes place in modern times. The wife had cancer and like treatment, and then she's on the road to recovery. He is living, Nicolas Cage is on the farm with his wife and kids. He inherited it from his father that passed, and he says about like his father being verbally abusive when he was growing up, and like he doesn't want to become like him and doesn't want to have anything to do with the farm. And now he's like running the farm. He gets grows like fruits and vegetables, as well as bought alpacas, and he's saying, oh, like how expensive it is to have them and to use them for milk and meat to like sell in the future. So it's like a long-term investment. And then the weirdness happens. The older daughter there, she's into the occult. She says some ritual and asking for help. She says different angels' names like Michael and Gabriel and others I can't remember, and help me and get me out of this place. That like she doesn't want to be in the farm in the middle of nowhere in Arkham, Massachusetts. She wants to go to the big city, and then she meets up. There's a hydrologist studies the water and sees, because they're gonna build a dam in the area and just see if the water's okay. And then she goes back home and with her family. Then the next day or that same evening, a meteorite crashes into the ground there, and since then it just causes nothing but trouble. It's and it sort of disappears, and then it poisons the well water, and the older doors like, why don't we just drink from the bottled water like normal people? We shouldn't drink from the well. But then the scientists go test it, and it's contaminated, says don't drink it, even to hippie guy that lives out in the woods near their house, says don't drink it, it's contaminated. And with them drinking it, and bad stuff happens, as well as the meteorite is hit by lightning and basically disappears. And the news comes over, and Nicolas Cage is telling okay, yeah, it was a meteorite that crashed, and they twist his words around and said that a UFO crashed and make him look crazy, and he's pissed off about that. And the family has troubles that it's modern times, so internet, cell phones, computers, TV, and something with this meteorite messes up not just the land to corrupt it, but also the technology. That there's I think it's called EMF. I can't remember the word for, but there's distortion on the phones that can't hear when trying to call. That the TV's messed up, the internet's messed up, and it's messing up the wife's job, because she's a stockbroker or something working from home, and she losing clients because can't hear, and they can't hear her because with the internet issue. The TV's messed up, and they all sort of have times that their mind goes foggy, and the time just, it's 1 minute, and then it's hours later, and they don't know where any of the time went. and the plants grow extra big. Nicholas Cage says he did everything right, but like it tastes like garbage, and he has a fit. He throws them in the trash, and then he goes. His wife is upset at another time that she's making dinner, but then she's like, daydreaming. She's cutting carrots, and then Nicholas Cage tells one of the kids, "Oh, like get your mother," and she's not paying attention. She cuts off two of her fingers, and then he goes to rush her to the hospital, and she's like, "Oh, dinner's ready." When she cut off her fingers, so she's like, not herself. They're all getting like poison, going crazy. Um, there's the younger son. He says that like he hears something in the well, like his friend. He's talking to his friend whistling. So the hydrologist comes by and like thinks that's weird. Um, the girl, she goes does some other crazy ritual that like she writes like some symbols on her hand, on her chest, like by her shoulder area and on her forehead, and then like asking for help as some spell to like get rid of this thing and make things normal. It doesn't help. Things just get nothing but worse. That the younger son also sees some weird it's like a praying mantis, but it's like a pinkish color, and it has multiple eyes. It doesn't look like a normal praying mantis piece. There are a lot of different kinds, but like it's none of them. It's like changed into something else. How the plants are changed to be a larger size, but taste yucky. In the book version, it's different. That they don't really say about alpacas, but like the fruit is corrupted, and then all the plants like sort of go gray, and like everything's dying off there, and the family gets sick. So they're all sort of like having problems in different ways in this. And another thing that happens is that the the older son wants to like run away. Well, actually, before that happens, that there's some like another like thing of light. They're outside. They go by the well, and at night, and then like hear something, and something rays shoot out of the well and hit the mother and the young son, and they sort of become fused together like back to back, and they're like dying, and they look gray, and they're brought up like the father's gonna go and like take them to the hospital or something, about to try and help, but the car's all broken down, so take them up to the attic and basically give him some water to drink, but the water's already like poison, so it doesn't really do anything to help. And then in the barn, the alpacas actually have been corrupted to be like one big mass, and supposedly it's from like radiation. They're all like one big mass of animals, like mutated together. And it says a little later on that there's like a cat and there's some other animals mixed in with that mesh of creatures. So it's sort of like the movie The Fly, in a way, that like two different species are combined into one. The So there's like sort of no hope for the mother and the young son. The other two children want to go and like run away during the night. The horse that they have acts crazy and like runs away, so that's like they have to walk away or not. And the son says, "Oh, like I can hear the dog. He's down at the bottom of the well." So he's going crawling down, like on the side of it to get him. It's like, okay, I'm gonna get him, but it says it smells like death down here. And then the creature, whatever it is, gets him. So it's basically the daughter and the father, and are the only ones sort of like left that are sort of normal in a way, not as crazy as the like physically harmed as the others. So then the hydrologist and cop come to the house and hears a scream from the attic, goes up there, and the son and mother are turned into some freakish monster that goes to attack, actually, or attacking the daughter. And Nicolas Cage goes and like shoots him to like put him out of the misery. He did shoot the alpacas before in like a crazy fit of rage, and like they're all going crazy in it. And then basically they no one gets out alive, it seems, but in a way that the father, when he's there, he says, oh, like, where's everyone? And then he says, oh, they're all right here in the living room with him watching TV. And there's another part of it where like time and space are sort of like distorted, that you can see him and his whole family like, sitting in the living room watching TV together, but that's not really what's happening. It's like alternate reality or something, and this weird pink color is a part of the movie. Like you can see it sort of there and there, like the pinkish purple relates to that, but it's definitely difficult for everyone there, and no one makes it out except like the hydrologist, that he went into the basement there, and when he comes out, it's all like gray and ash. The house is completely gone and everything is destroyed. But there seems to be like that little praying mantis that looks that weird like pinkish color is still flying about. So like, that place is cursed ground. So it was definitely an interesting story. It's modernized and not, because it's like this was originally written in 1927, I'm pretty sure. So it's almost 100 years old. So this was like made for our modern times, and sort of the horror elements are more in line with modern horror films. It's definitely cool to see this version. I watched another version, and I shared a post about it that was like free online on YouTube from I think 2010, but that's in German. It was an interesting take on it, but had a more old school vibe, being black and white, and mostly in German, so with US English subtitles. So that was interesting, and more of the original version, and this is more modernized. So it's definitely cool to check out. I definitely would suggest to watch it if you can. Read the story. Halloween weekend has come to a close. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, like, share. See you in the next video.